Hello, tile friends, and welcome back to another episode of Tile Money. This is the podcast where we discuss the business of being a tile contractor. My name is Luke Miller, a tile contractor myself in the state of California. Now, Tile Money is brought to you by the National Tile Contractors Association, and this episode of Tile Money is sponsored by Laticrete International. Today I've got another great episode with Ben Santos, my business partner. This is part 2 of 4. Ben and I took a couple-hour drive, and I broke this up to about 30 minutes each. And in this episode, we get into Google My Business. We get into why it's important, how to start it, the similarities between Google My Business and Facebook, and how to do reviews, how to get reviews, how to get your customers to give you reviews. I know this can be a struggle. Ben's shares some great tips. I share a few tips, and you're really gonna find this valuable because reviews are really the social proof, and we're gonna talk about what I mean by that. Now, I wanted to share, before I let you listen to this episode, I wanted to share one of the reviews of Tile Money, and this is by Alex Johnson, and you can find him on Instagram, that's at Al_GIX. So go check out what Alex Johnson is doing up in the Ozarks. He's in Springfield. So Al said, I just listened to the Protractor episode where you were the featured guest. Great information and tips to help me with my contracting business. I've been at it 2 years with my business and learning so much. I feel like no one I ever worked for did the things I'm learning now. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Alex, it's my pleasure. Thank you for writing that review. Thank you for taking the time to let me know you're benefiting. This is why I started Tile Money. I want to strengthen tile contractors across the board. So if you want to be featured and have me read your review, just go to iTunes or my Facebook page and write a review, and I'll get to you there. So everybody go check out at Al_GIX. He's doing some really cool stuff. All right, friends, enjoy this episode with Ben Santos.
But to get to Google the business profile, it's awesome because it'll remind you that your last update on your profile, and basically what Google is and what Google wants to be is Facebook. Basically, it's kind of like Facebook, and they want everything in house, kind of. Yeah. So they want to act like they're a home page for your website almost.
Yeah.
So SEO isn't really as important, like search engine optimization isn't as important as like that Google business profile.
Yeah.
Because I post a ton of pictures on Google Business.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a free website almost.
Really?
Yeah. But it's good to have a website to have the link on Google Business.
So how do you get started in Google Business?
Okay, so just
Google Business.
Just go. No, it's www.google.com/business.
Yeah.
And then it'll have you fill out some information.
Do you recommend doing that on your laptop, or could you do that?
Yeah, do it on a computer. It's probably way easier.
Yeah.
I mean, a phone. I don't know.
I think so if you only have a phone, they have an app. They have an app. Google has a Google My Business app that you can actually. I've done this. I did it literally holding my daughter while she was sleeping for 2 or 3 hours when she was a baby. I literally downloaded the app, and I've made websites the same way, to be honest, Ben, on my phone.
Yeah.
And I literally will download an app, and they have one, I think it's called Google My Business, and you can upload photos, you can upload a few words, you can upload a video, and you can upload your page. You put in all your information, and you're up and running within an hour or two with one hand with a baby in your other hand.
But to set up the profile,
it's probably
you're gonna wanna off on a tangent here. There's an IGA right there. Remember I was telling you? But to set up the Google profile, they're gonna ask you for some basic information, but then they're gonna send you like a verification card to your address to make sure it's really you, like you're not some bot or something.
Yeah, it does take some time.
Yeah, then I think you type in that code, and then your profile is up and running,
up and live,
and then you plug in then you download the Google Business app, and then you're running.
Yeah.
And you post all the pictures that you would post on your website on the Google Business app. You write a description of what your hours are and when you're open and all that kind of stuff. You want to have all this information up to date, though. It's super important, or you'll get pushed to the bottom of the queue.
Yeah.
And then once you have all that information updated, you basically want to start posting on your profile like you would on Facebook. And so, like, I'll make a post. Like, for example, my last post, I had made a kind of like a slideshow video with me speaking. They're going to want your video to be under a minute. And they'll have you write out a short description underneath. And I try to keep the description short, and I try to market and put a bunch of colorful language in it to make people want to call me. I can't say my marketing is quite as bold on Google, because I kind of am casting a bit of a wider net there and encouraging people to go on my website, and then that'll narrow down people that'll call me who actually share my values. But yeah, every week it's pretty easy. They'll send you a notice that your last post is about to expire, and then you just throw up another post. And I've experimented, and like I say, the videos work the best, and it's cool because you can click on it, or it says you can make a video right through the app. Just talk it into the camera. Just say, hey, this is so and so. We're installing the best tile around. Give me a call, and that could be your Google. That could be your Google your ad for the week if you really wanted to, and just stay on that and just do it and keep doing it. And it's a really cool app because they'll let you, they track your success, like how many people view the post, and they'll tell you what they're looking for, like colorful pictures, a good message. They'll help you track everything, which is a really good feature of the app. So I just really recommend really working Google, because guys, it's all free. Yelp, they charge you. House, they charge you. And that's not even people's go-to, really. At the end of the day, it's not their go-to. Google, I would say, is mostly everyone's go-to. Think about yourself when you have a question about something. You go on Google. So that's kind of how I honestly think about marketing too, is I kind of look at what other people are doing. I really listen to my customers and listen to the people who call me and try to hear what their complaints are. Like, one of my favorite questions is, have you ever had tile work done before? Some people say no, and I say, oh, well, great. Hopefully I'll make it a great experience for you. But some people say, yeah, I have had tile work done before. And I'll say, oh yeah, how was that experience? Oh, it was awful. He left my house a mess. All this, just they pretty much open up at that point if they had a bad experience. And basically what that is for me is market research, so that I know what to target in my ads for, like Google, for example. So like, I noticed people were talking about the hygienic nature of their shower and how they couldn't stand that it had like the little black mold in it and all this. So I started pushing my marketing toward that and started talking about, how most people's showers are a toxic swamp and they don't even realize it, and how we could build you something that matches your personality. And, I know that I'm successful at that is because then when I listen to my customers that call me after I posted that, what they'll do is they'll almost repeat my own marketing back to me. And that's so extremely powerful to know that I'm over the target, because I posted that one on Google and YouTube about a hygienic shower. And then within a couple days, I'm getting people calling me about how they can't stand how dirty and nasty their shower is.
I love that story.
Yeah, they're repeating my marketing right back to me.
Yeah. So they're like, there's already a good chance they're your customer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And So that's a great thing about the Google Business Profile. I mean, they make it really easy for you to do it, and like I was saying, it's free. So you guys just put in a little bit of time into it.
Yeah.
A really good thing that I recommend too is to buy any type of book that talks about ad copy or copywriting. That's like this really like powerful trade that people have made millions and millions of dollars doing, that encourages people to like click on your website or call you, and it's just basically how to make an effective ad.
Yeah.
That's what copywriting is. And let me give you some value here. There's a group of like words that I like to use that make people want to click. Words like discover, words like proven, words like free I don't usually use that one because I really don't give anything away for free. But word discover, proven, learn is a good one that people love. So there's all these like little keywords that you can use that inspire people to take action.
Yeah.
And that's copywriting. So eventually on the blog, we'll post my favorite ad copy book that really helped me figure it out. And the thing about marketing is, the way I like to describe it is, what marketing is it, and a great illustration of it is, it's basically pushing a button inside of someone's head that makes them want to take action.
Wow.
And Americans have basically revolutionized marketing since like the turn of the century. Like this guy named Edward Bernays.
Really?
He was Freud's Sigmund Freud, the psychologist.
Yeah.
He was his Freud was Bernays' uncle, I believe.
Okay.
And Bernays, they call him the father of public relations. And he had these really interesting ads, and he was brilliant at getting people to take action. Like back at the turn of the century, it was considered really like unsavory for women to smoke cigarettes. And the cigarette companies knew that there was like this untapped resource of women who could smoke cigarettes. It's 50% of the population. So they put Bernays on it, and they were like, figure out how to get women to smoke cigarettes so we can sell to them.
Really?
Yeah, and what he basically did is he used like the female empowerment movement and feminism to say like, look, this powerful women smoke cigarettes.
Sexy.
Don't you want to be a powerful woman?
Powerful.
Yeah, and it blew up. Like all these women, it became acceptable again through his advertising.
Wow.
Or it became acceptable for women to smoke cigarettes through his advertising.
Yeah.
And if you look at the history of this guy, like he was brilliant. He's like they call him the father of public relations.
Do you have another example
of what he did? Nah.
That's the main one.
That's the main one that I remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had a 50-year-long career.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, another one was him during World War II. I think he got people fired up for buying like war bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got people fired up about that. So he was brilliant at marketing.
Buying war bombs? What do you mean?
War bonds.
Oh, bonds.
Yeah, to like fund the war effort back in World War II.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah, he was a brilliant marketer, but he was great at like that example I just used, at pushing the button inside of somebody's head. That's all we're doing when we're marketing, is trying to push that button.
Yeah.
So,
all right, friends, I'm going to jump in right here. I hope you're enjoying this episode. We're going to continue it here, but real quick, I've got some manufacturer news. I wanted to let you know about a unique opportunity that is happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, September 26, 2019. This is, of course, sponsored by Laticrete International. Ron and I have put together a first-of-its-kind business incubator. We're going to be talking about negotiations at this one. This is an 8-hour class. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be provided by Laticrete, and Ron will be taking the helm. He'll be directing the ship, so to speak. He'll be teaching us about these in-depth high-level negotiation skills. We've been talking about it. We've been priming the pump, so to speak, and I'm excited for it. Ron is excited for it, and those who are planning on going are excited for it. This class, if you want to go, let me know. I can't guarantee it. The seats filled up pretty quick, but if there's some cancellations, there is a waiting list. But the neat thing here, friends, is let me know either way, because we want to take count and see how many are interested in this. And we would like to do this in various cities. So if you want us to come to your city, let us know, and there's a very good chance we will. So, all right, friends, enjoy the rest of this episode with Ben.
Yeah. So, what's the important thing? Why, the book we're going to recommend about ad copy really had great examples that I like to point, and that really helped me. Like marketing, there's a foundation to marketing.
Yeah.
And the foundation is to try to figure out why people buy. Why do people buy things? Why would people buy nice tile work?
Pain or pleasure?
There's one example. So the pain and pleasure aspect would be like, let me think here. This is a good example. Is people buy tile work for prestige?
Okay.
People buy nice tile work to get praise from their friends and family.
Right.
So if somebody's going to buy a backsplash, and put it in their house, their friends are going to come in and say, "Wow, that was beautiful."
Yeah.
And people love to get praise from their friends and family.
Yeah, one of my favorite customers, we did a bathroom for them, and they had some other work. They had a landscaper do a bunch of landscaping work, and then they threw a big party for the neighborhood so that everybody could come see their work.
Exactly.
Showing it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why people buy. Another reason why older people would buy a shower, for example, is for security. There's nothing more secure than getting a curbless shower with all the grab bars.
So that would fall under the pain. Kind of,
a little bit, because if you don't have it, if you're in a bathtub, you're gonna fall out of it and break your dang hip.
Yeah.
So so sometimes every once in a while I'll put out an ad directed specifically toward older people, saying, increase your security in your old age by purchasing this shower, for example.
Yeah.
Another reason people will buy something, a shower, tile work, is comfort.
Right.
There's nothing more comfortable than a shower. So when you make up your marketing, direct it toward talking to people about comfort.
That's ad copy then.
Yep.
That word comfort. Or security.
Yeah,
for
use
the older
those.
ones.
Yeah, use
If you're in Florida, you might want to target older people. Security. You might, and it's not. You're giving them something they need and want. They're buying for pain because, they're getting older.
Yeah, but this is the foundation of marketing, is why do people buy things? That's why when you're writing something, your Google profile, you want to think about why should this person buy from you? What do they potentially want?
Okay.
Another one is they want something one of a kind that fits their personality. I say that all the time.
Right.
We're building you something one of a kind that no one else has.
Wow.
So that's like 6 different examples, and in the book, the ad copy book, there's like 20 different ones that don't necessarily relate to tile.
Right.
These are the ones that I have found relate to my field.
Right.
And that would relate to tile work.
Yeah.
So I use that. And just like when you're lifting weights, for example, like the squat, the deadlift, those are foundational exercises. Those reasons someone buys are foundational to marketing.
Yeah.
If you're not thinking about that when you're writing up an ad, you're just kind of like you're not gonna write an effective ad. You have to think about why people buy. And I was talking a little while ago about how when I'm on the phone, I try to do market research.
Yeah.
So when you're asking your phone questions, for example, ask people. One of your first questions should be, how did you find me? So you know where to direct more of your efforts. If they say Google, keep plowing on Google.
Yeah.
Keep dumping it on
working.
there.
It's working. Yeah.
If you have a classified ad, they say, "Oh, I found you in a classified ad."
Yeah.
Find it and write it down, and keep putting it in and put more effort into it
because it got them.
Yeah. Another thing that people always mention to me, always, when I ask them how they found me or have they researched my company, that's another one I like to ask. They always say, yeah, I saw that you had really good reviews.
Yeah.
And I don't think generally people don't make very many clicks because Google makes it easy for you to just stay on Google. That's what they want. They don't even want you to get off Google.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a one-stop shop. It's like you're going to Walmart. I mean,
exactly.
You can go in there and get your groceries and your tires.
Yeah, they don't want you to click off of Google.
So what are these reviews? They're Google reviews, right? Obviously.
Exactly.
So you want to focus on Google reviews, for one, because it's the platform that's the biggest, the largest, the easiest. Anybody can give you a review. Yelp, anybody can give you a review, but they have to be a Yelper for it to stick. Meaning, if you're not a Yelper and you ask them, you get them to give you a Yelp review, Yelp will actually shut that down. They'll actually put it so that nobody can see it. Google doesn't do that. You can do Facebook because Facebook is searchable if you have a really good Facebook page. But if you're just starting out, put all your eggs in Google for now. For now.
Yeah, but you have to click off of Google to get to Facebook.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's the thing with people, is we need to accept that people are not it's hard to even get people to like your stuff, much less make multiple clicks to get through.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about using ad copy.
Yeah.
Like, people have these clever techniques that they use in order to get people to continue clicking.
Yeah.
That's how hard it is.
Yeah.
People have to be motivated and encouraged to continue to click.
So how do you get a Google review? How do you get your customer to review you?
Well, for starters, I get a Google review by completely dedicating and focusing my whole effort into getting that review. What do I say? I say, if you don't get a review, and if you don't get pictures of the job, it did not happen.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. If you don't get a review, if you don't get pictures, the job didn't happen.
Yeah. So you were just a ghost. So what do you do to encourage that? From the beginning or what? At the end?
Well, I usually plant the seed early because most people because on my website, I'll have a backlink to my Google profile and I'll encourage people to read about what other people have to say about me. It's called social proof. It's the best ad you can have is other people saying good stuff about you.
Social proof. Yeah.
So when I try to get one review a month, and what I'll do is I'll cycle that onto my homepage. Yeah. And I'll make that the month's review the centerpiece of the homepage for people to read. So that's a good thing. That's a great thing to do, is put that on your homepage. But getting the reviews from the start, I focus on it from the start. I'll mention it to the people. I'll be working hard to hopefully get a Google review. And most of the people that hire us, they kind of hired us because they've read the Google reviews. Right. So they're already kind of primed for it, if you will. I always focus on kind of filling up their emotional bank account. That's a great term that I like to use, emotional bank account.
What do you mean?
Well, when you do something nice for somebody, it makes them feel good about themselves. Yeah. It makes them feel good about the relationship. Yeah. So you have a bank account inside their soul, basically.
You're making a deposit.
You're making a deposit. Yeah, exactly.
What does that look like in real time?
In real time, it looks like, for one example, we were working on a job, and the ladies' masonry steps, they were kind of like those cinder block, but fancy block steps. Yeah. And the guy put them in with some glue or something. Not really the best.
PL or something.
Yeah, not the best. Yeah. And the steps came free. And she had mentioned it. And I said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it for you. Yeah. Because we were there and we had the tools. Oh, she said, no, don't worry about it. I'll do it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I just ended up when I wasn't doing anything, I took them apart and I took the grinder out and I ground off all the old glue and put it. The grand total to fix the steps took me about an hour. Yeah. But she saw that we did it. Yeah. And she thanked us profusely. and was so happy about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so filled up the emotional bank account there.
Cha-ching, cha-ching,
Exactly.
I can hear the coins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will or like this lady, for example, she had her trash in the bag, like going toward the front door.
Yeah.
Like she was going to take it out.
Yeah.
So I picked up the trash and brought it out for her.
Yeah.
And put it in the thing.
Yeah.
My number one thing that I like to do is toward the end of the job, there's all sorts of when you're doing tile, you get like...
You want to hear? Let's pause real quick.
Okay.
You want to hear a funny story about the trash?
Sure.
So there's one job I'm on. The contractor, he had a trash pile in the front of the house.
That's the worst. I hate that.
I know. He's a pretty bad contractor, but he had a trash pile, and I had my 14-foot trailer, so I was putting my trash in my trailer during the whole job, and I left my trailer on the job. Well, the last day of the job, I take my trash to the dump, and the trailer was getting full, but I had some room, so I looked at his trash. I said, I'm going to take his trash. So I told my helpers, and I was helping them throw it in there. Well, we ended up throwing away some of his chains for his dump trailer because they were just in the trash. They were like right there. He buried them, and so they got thrown away. So if you're throwing out somebody else's trash, maybe have a look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, the one of the other things I did on the last job to fill up the emotional bank account, and this is something I've done on multiple times, and I always do it on every job, is that when as tile guys, when we're walking inside the house, we get a little thin set on the doorknob, we get a little white thin set water kind of around the door.
Saw water.
Yeah, whatever. It just gets a little messy on the door because we're in and out of the door, 100 times.
Yeah.
Well, this lady had a window there, and at the end of the job, I just timed it perfect to where I was cleaning the window as she was there, and I made sure that she saw me scrubbing the window down and cleaning everything up. Oh, well, thank you so much. Boom, emotional bank account.
Cha-ching,
exactly.
Did you bring your own Windex to your jobs, or?
Yeah, because we would be silicone. We have like that spray away
you already
stuff.
have it, yeah.
So it's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the paper towels are there, everything. So it's like
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and all this stuff, it doesn't cost me anything to do that, essentially.
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And if you're getting paid for the job, like you should be, it's not a big deal. You're getting paid anyway. You're there. So that's the point, is it doesn't take a bunch of time, but people notice it. So then when you go to ask for that review, they're just so super willing to do it.
Yeah.
And
because you filled up their emotional bank.
Exactly. But you know what? 90% of the time people will say, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And what happens?
They don't do it.
I
hate that.
Okay. So there's techniques that you can use that I've really gone good at. That'll help you.
Lay it on us.
Okay, here we go.
Mr. 30 Reviews.
Yeah. And they are hard fought too.
Yeah.
And I've A/B tested all of these.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I'll do is a week after the job is done, I'll give them time to use the shower, to do whatever. I'll give them a call, and I'll personally ask them. I'll say, you found us on Google, you read our testimonies. If we would love for you to help us stay in business, by giving us a 5-star Google review. But I'll ask them if they're happy first. Say, so are you happy with? Oh yeah, you guys did great. Whatever.
Yeah.
Then I'll ask them, in order for us to stay in business, would you please give us a 5-star Google review? Yes, sure. Good. Okay, I'll send you over the link. I send it over to them in text. The last one didn't return the text by saying, yeah, received. Most people don't.
Yeah.
So I'll wait a day. I'll wait 2 days. Some people do it immediately.
Right. They're just on.
But I'm telling you, 50% of the people will forget.
Procrastinate.
Yeah, they'll look at the text and then put it down. And
what happens is they're well-meaning. You might send them a text in the middle of the day when they're scrubbing their dishes.
Or driving.
And they look at it, and they're like, oh, I'll do that, or driving. But because they looked at it, the notification goes away, and then their kids start screaming, and then their husband comes home, or their wife, and then, they forget about it.
Yeah.
They're well-meaning people.
Yeah,
it's just they forget about it. So then what do you do?
So, but I've already gotten the yes from them that they are going to do it. So I don't really feel bad about being a little bit forward and pushing it a little
Persistence.
bit. Yeah. So they'll say, so most of the time they don't respond to the text, or if they do, they'll say yes, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
But the second time, what I'll do is after a day or two, I'll send them another text with the link, and I'll say, hey, not sure if you got the last text with the Google link. Not sure if it worked for you. I just wanted to get this out to you again, just in case. Okay, so that the second time, you know, and usually that'll get them, if they already said yes, that'll get them to do it again because they're like, oh crap, I forgot, I have to do it. The third thing that I do is I'll then, after, if that all doesn't work, or sometimes I'll couple this part together with the second text, as I'll send them an email with the link again. And you try to make it easy for them. Give them the link in the text, the direct link to your review page. Kind of give them an overview of the directions, and then that usually works. They usually will do it by that point. You had an example that you would maybe give them cookies or something.
Yeah, I like to give them some cookies or even a Starbucks gift card, $25, $50, you know, depending on the size of the job. And if you're selling a $10,000 job, what's $25 or $50, you know? If it's a $5,000 job, maybe give them a $25 Starbucks gift card. Everybody goes to Starbucks. That's always a winner, you know, or give them some local cookie or something local that they'll really enjoy.
Yeah. And think about it, you know, you're not paying people for a Google review with cookies or even a $25 gift card. If they're not happy with your job, no matter what you give them is not going to make them give you a review.
No.
All you're doing is kind of encouraging them to do it because people have stuff going on, and it's some, you know, and I've used those techniques before too, and I've, you know, I mean, one year I made up these Christmas ornaments out of little pieces of marble, and I drilled holes in them, and I braided up like a string to hang on the tree.
Nice.
And I put like a little like sparkly like Christmas tree on it, and I sent them to all of our customers that year.
Past customers.
And then one guy like texted me and said, wow, thanks for that gift, that was really cool. And I said, hey, you know, I noticed you never gave me a Google review. If you wouldn't mind, you know, getting on there. You know, and he never did it.
Oh no!
And we asked him like 3-4 times. He said yes every time. So it's not.
Well, you know what I did, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this one. It's a little bit out there, you know. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't do this kind of stuff, but I did it because I'm ballsy. I want to win. I want to be on top. I want to be the #1 tile guy in my area. So I did this technique. I emailed all my best past customers, like 30 or 40 or 50 people that I had emails to. And I said, look, I'm growing my business. I know, you know, if you were happy with the work we did, I'd really appreciate a review. And I said, there's a contest I'm holding this month. If I can get 10 reviews this month, I'm going to give away an iPad mini. It's $250 at the time. Big deal. I made $200,000 off of those 40, 50 customers in a year. Big deal, $250. And that got me 8 reviews. So it didn't get me over the 10 mark, and so I wasn't obligated to buy the iPad mini. I would have been happy to, and looking back, maybe I should have done it anyways. Now that I'm talking about it, I sound like an ass because I didn't, right? But legally I wasn't obliged to do it because it was like 8 reviews. So and a lot of people said, don't worry. A lot of people emailed me back. They're like, Luke, I don't want the iPad. I'm going to give you a review anyways.
That's a good idea.
You think it's a good idea?
Yeah, I love that idea, actually. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you got to think outside the box with this stuff. I mean, people are busy, but I always try to put it across to them that it's like a life or death thing for my business. And if you like me and if you like our work, please, please, please just do this. And I plant the seed early. I stick with it and don't let it go. Like the mindset to have, no review, no pictures, job didn't happen. And then when you have that mindset, you kind of, you know, really push, you make yourself get that review. And it makes you do a far better job and keep the customers happy. And not every customer is going to leave a review, but focus on one a month.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, like, this is called good business practices. Like I said, whether you're selling hot dogs or Rolexes, you have to have good business practices. And us tile guys, we have to try even harder because there's thousands of us, let's face it. But the nice thing is nobody's doing this. So those of you out there listening to this right now, you start putting these little tips that Ben's sharing and I'm sharing into practice, you're going to be number one, because right now you're on top of the world. Thousands of you are on top of the world. But what's going to happen is we're going to have another slowdown, another recession, if you will. It happens all the time. It happens. You can't escape it, right? So you're laying this groundwork. You're living good now. But if you don't have those reviews, you don't have a Google presence, you don't have a YouTube presence, you don't have a website, you don't have marketing at all, you haven't laid any groundwork with your customers, you're not tracking your customers, you're going to be dead in the water. You're just like any other tile contractor who's going to be jobless.
Yeah, once that builder work dries up, you're going to want to go straight to the homeowner or straight to the homeowner.
Yep.
And if you want to do straight to homeowner stuff, you need to have these Google reviews.
Yep.
Listen, the day of giving out a phone number to call my references is over.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
The day of here's a past customer for you to call. It's over.
Yeah.
Just have it on your website, have it on your Google profile, so people can cut to the chase and see. People aren't going to make the extra phone call to a past customer.
No.
And I don't know why you would want to ask your past customers to do that for you anyway. You want to talk about how hard it is to get Google reviews. How hard is it to have a customer take phone calls of your future customers? I don't even know how people do that or why they do that. We have the technology now to cut all that crap out.
Yeah.
The marketing, like the way people used to market in the past, word of mouth, all that. It's 21st century is Google, is website, is online reviews.
Yeah.
So I mean, push ahead. And the thing about it is, it saves you money too. It's free. It's not that big of a deal.
No.
It saves you time. You vet your customer. Like as I was saying earlier, my marketing is directed it's not only directed toward attracting the customers that I want, but it's also geared toward discouraging the customers that I don't want from calling me too.
Yeah.
So I'm not casting out a wide net trying to catch every fish, trying to do all the tile work in Atlanta. I physically cannot do that. We're two people. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But what I am trying to do is catch the right fish, the big old fish that are willing, that share my values and that want to pay more to have somebody that they know and trust work in their home and that they can vet. I always tell people, the whole reason I do my website is so you can go on there, you can look at what you're going to get before I show up, so it's not a mystery.
Are we a good fit or not?
Yeah. And the biggest thing that people hate about construction, I feel, is that, they don't know what they're going to get. They don't know who's going to show up at their house.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're buying. And it's a mystery. And they don't care until it fails. But, let's cut that stuff out. And my number one customer is the person that's been screwed over before. Yeah. They're more easy to work with at that point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And maybe some of them are skeptical, but you just tell them, hey, everything is on my website. I've documented 3 years of my work on our website, on our blog.
All right, tile friends, we've got another Tile Money tip. Tile Money tips are sponsored by Laticrete International, and we're talking to Ron Nash. Enjoy this Tile Money tip right now.
Negotiations. We all negotiate on the telephone. It happens all the time. I want you to develop a price whereby you're comfortable negotiating on the phone, and I want you to develop a break point where you say, no, if anything that costs more than this, I will not negotiate on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is, understand that at a certain level, it's transactional, and it really isn't that big of a deal. But at a certain contract level, you need body language. How can you really find out what people want on a job if you can't read their body language?
Mm-hmm.
You can't see nonverbal cues. It's so big. It's 70% of human communication. So you're already starting out at a disadvantage. It's easy to miss details. Everybody who negotiates on the phone, they're always doing something else. They're always driving down the road. They're not thinking about the deal as deeply as they could. So
Yeah.
telephone negotiations are very, very, very dangerous. And I just want people to know, okay, I'm comfortable on items that are X price and below. Do it on the phone. Anything above this price, if at all possible, I'm going to do it face to face. And in many cases with customers, I'll say, look, this is kind of a bigger deal. I will buy you a cup of coffee. I would love to get together with you. Just give me 10 minutes just to make sure I do it right.
Yeah.
Okay, put it on you, help them save face. All right, so the counter tactics that I would do here is set another time.
Okay.
Appeal to a higher authority. Look, my mom says I'm not allowed,
Yeah.
which is another way to flinch, by the way.
Yeah.
But appeal to a higher authority may also be, hey, look, I got a boss. My boss says I got to do this face to face. Or my wife, she gets really mad at me. Whatever. I don't care what it is. Worst case scenario.
Yeah. Even if it's just saying my procedure is.
Yes, my procedure.
My company
that is appealing to a higher authority because they say, oh my gosh, this guy has procedures.
Right.
Just like a printed price list that happens to be behind a barista's head. There's nothing on that sign that says what's going to happen when this guy comes up and adds caramel. What's going to happen when this guy comes up and adds? There's nothing that says that. But did they change their price? Yes, they did. All right. So set another time. Appeal to a higher authority. Go to standard systems. All right, look, if I'm going to be over the phone, I'm going to use standard pricing. I'm not moving off standard pricing. All right, set price list. Price lists as themselves, printed price books are appealing to a higher authority. I have a printed price for that. I'm going to go to that for that. So, I in closing of these tips, this particular session, I just wanted to say one of the first people that people need to learn is that people don't buy features, they invest in outcomes. And it's very important that when you sell yourself, you're selling outcomes. So for example, if I hire Luke, I'm hiring a guy who can help me get my shower done on time and that it won't leak and it's going to look beautiful.
Yeah.
That's why when I buy Luke. When I buy this product from Luke, I'm buying an outcome. And so make sure that when you're negotiating towards outcomes. Very important.
Yeah.
I always tell people, what do you buy when you buy a DeWalt drill?
Yeah.
You buy perfectly round holes that are easy to place.
Yeah.
All the rest of it's marketing. And so that's the same thing for you. And in your business, I would suggest that you learn how to state things as far as outcome. What do you do for a living? I provide facades that are beautifully tiled, that don't fail. I provide swimming pools that are beautifully tiled, that don't leak. I provide showers that are beautiful, enhance your home, and they don't leak, and they last for a lifetime. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So at Laticrete, we provide materials that should help you build a shower and a swimming pool that will help you build profit and will help you not leak and stick with you with a project forever. Yeah. We build partnerships that last a lifetime at Laticrete. That's what we do. That's our stock and trade.
Yeah.
All the rest of the products are kind of the details that make me valuable for you.
Yeah.
So if we have a relationship based on that, then our relationship stops being transactional and it starts being more common goals and win-win. And that, my friend, is what this negotiation situation has always been about. How do we put together relationships that wind up being profitable, positive, and grow?
Yeah. I love it, friends. And this reminds me of your elevator pitch. Google elevator pitch. Google how to come up with your personal elevator pitch for your business, because we should be able to communicate what we do in 60 seconds or less. So, Ron, thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate you.
Yep, no problem, my friend.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that Tile Money tip, which was again sponsored by Laticrete International. Now, thank you so much for taking the time to write reviews. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and it gives me fuel to continue doing what I'm doing. Please share this podcast with another tile friend if you haven't already. Please like and subscribe so that you're updated when I release new episodes. And if you're not signed up for my email newsletter, that would be a good idea as well. You can find that by going to tilemoney.com. All right, friends, stay profitable out there.